a man just comes along and he buys us off a shelf and he plays with us until he thinks we're no longer fun, or he gets us all dirty, right? Then he wants to just throw us away.
Hello, babes. Welcome back to the channel. If you are new, welcome. So in today's video, we are going to be talking about Miss Brandy Webb from the movie A Thin Line Between Love and Hate, played by the beautiful Miss Lynn Whitfield. So let's get into it. So when we first meet the beautiful Brandy, she is this beautiful, feminine, high-class, elegant real estate agent who has it all together. Darnell, the slick-talking, no-good-for-nothing demon, sees Brandy step out of the store and is immediately drawn to her, and his dusty friend tries to step to her, calling her stuck up. First off, crossball, what makes you think you getting all up in a woman's personal space requires her to speak to you?
How you doing, baby?
How am I doing, baby? I'm not your baby.
Excuse me. Most men would have called you stuck up. Looking all like a Bobby doll.
Second of all, why is it that as soon as a woman doesn't respond to your cat call, you resort to name calling like a petulant child? Now let's get back to Brandy. Brandy shows up to Chocolate City, and can we talk about her wardrobe really quick? I mean, every piece Brandy wore was so elegant and timeless. It showed her frame perfectly, but not too much. She looked good in any and everything. I loved her pink dress when they pick up that fish dinner. Honey, Brandy was coming with the looks, okay? So Darnell is determined to get Brandy into bed and decides he's going to do whatever it takes to get Brandy, including showing up to her office and her listing for the property she is selling. And Darnell was given stalker. This is not normal behavior for a man pursuing a woman. To write down license plates, show up at her place of business, it's given Joe Goldberg behavior.
You've got a stalker.
And for those who watch you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. This man was piling it on thick in order to get Brandy to let her guard down and put her trust into him. And all for one reason, and that was to get her in the bedroom. How desperate and thirsty do you have to be that you will go to no ends for sexual gratification? That means you'll do other things because you want something that bad? It's wicked, devious behavior. For you to play with the emotions of someone on that level is actually terrifying. And I don't think people understand or take into account that you cannot just go around playing with people's emotions. Not everyone is just going to cry or simply walk away from the hurt that you caused them. Some are going to want revenge. And Brandy wanted that, and she wasn't wrong for wanting it. Now, I'm not saying that she should have took him out or attempted to harm Mia, an innocent bystander, because of the actions of Darnell, but Brandy had every right to feel the way she did. You don't get to go around playing with the emotions and feelings of others and then believe that you can just go on about your business like nothing happened with no consequences, because there are some people out there who don't have it all and are not to be played with. And Brandy was the perfect example. Brandy already knew from her past relationships, marriage, and the hurt she dealt with that she wasn't ready to enter any relationship because of what she had previously gone through, which is what I respect about her and why I believe she was a victim. Darnell was parched and didn't take heed to the multiple warnings Brandy gave him. She told him she was scared of being hurt and she didn't have time for games, and this man still went out of his way to pursue her.
There's nothing that you can buy for me that I can't buy for myself, so don't waste my time.
Well, look, I can't afford this. This is a big house. I can't afford it. I can't afford none of this. The crystal baby bird? Yeah, set a motherfucker back like a big dog.
What kind of game are you playing?
No, I'm not playing no games. See, when I came at you honest and direct, you wouldn't give me the time of day.
Now here's where my issue comes with some men like Darnell and why it's terrifying for women to date. The fact that you'll pretend as though you're interested in a woman tirelessly to gain her trust, spend time with her, and use the words "I love you" so loosely, all to get a woman in bed, is predatory behavior. I'm sorry, but there is no other way to describe it. It is what a predator would do. You're plotting and preying on the woman, and as soon as she lets her guard down, you pounce on her like a tiger watching and waiting to attack its prey. I do think some men need to get therapy to figure out why they're so sex crazed that they're willing to do anything to get it. I just think it's disgusting, and it's disgusting overall to just be sleeping around with multiple people, which is why I don't understand people who pretend as though they're interested in being in a relationship. If you don't want to be in a committed relationship, that's fine. That's a personal choice. Do you? And there are some people who simply cannot be in monogamous relationships and want to be free. But the issue comes into play when you are a selfish coward who can't be upfront and have adult conversations with people and play with their emotions. Brandy was a woman who, from the outside looking in, looked as if she had it all together. She was beautiful, elegant, charming, and she was successful, but underneath that, she was dealing with a lot of hurt and betrayal. Though we didn't learn much about Brandy, aside from the fact that she killed her previous husband due to infidelity and abuse, which was something she obviously needed therapy for. Unlike some people who tend to ignore all of the issues they have and bring their baggage into relationships, Brandy opted to stay single because she knew that was in her best interest for both her and whoever she would ultimately end up dating. Now, there are two types of people. There is the person that knows who they are, what they deserve, won't settle, and don't mind being single and alone until they get their things together, or just want to stay single, which there is no issue with. Then there is the other person who can't handle being alone and have never been single in all of their teen, adult years. They've jumped from relationship to relationship and never healed from past broken hearts. They're so codependent that they don't even know themselves. They just become the bag lady or bag man and dump all of their previous issues from prior relationships into new ones. And Brandy is the first person I described. While she had deep-rooted issues and couldn't handle betrayal, Brandy didn't want to be in a relationship. She knew that she wasn't ready for a relationship. I respected her for that because although she may have had her issues, she knew that with those issues, she couldn't be in a relationship. I do think because she loved so hard, she couldn't fathom that love not being returned back. She was straightforward and wanted that same respect. So in her mind, she couldn't understand that she'd do all of these things for someone who wouldn't do the same for her. She had a conversation with Darnell before they even got intimate, where she is being vulnerable, crying, and explaining how scared she is of being hurt. But this trash bin man doesn't care because the only thing on his mind is sex and only his feelings matter.
And I'm scared.
Look, I'm scared too. Okay? I'm scared. You can see it in my eye. But you have to trust me. I'm here for you. I'm here.
Darnell, is there someone?
What?
Do you have feelings for anybody?
Feelings for? I can't even think of nobody since I met you. I don't feelings. What kind?
Because I cannot be hurt. It would not be good for me to be hurt.
I think Brandy needed someone on her level and someone more mature. Darnell was still stuck in his high school boy ways, as well as the crew he hung out with. They were all terribly immature. She needed someone who would love her and make her feel secure within her relationship, and Darnell just wasn't that. Something I also want to add is how some men love to call the women they've been involved with crazy, but won't tell you what they did to make her that way. You have to be wary of a man who bashes his ex and asks follow-up questions like, what took place in your relationship? Were you faithful? Etc. Now, I'm not saying there aren't some women out there who are unhinged, because there are, but what I am saying is anyone who constantly talks about their ex in a negative way is a red flag.
It's getting weird.
I don't even believe in bringing up exes in a current relationship because people will often tell you what the other person did to them, but always present themselves as the good one, and not how they contributed to the breakup, because some people are just void of accountability. Brandy wasn't wrong in feeling the way she did. Being stood up for her birthday after she took this man shopping, huge mistake, first of all. But treating him like he was some kind of king, loving on him, then he is out here parading with another woman, and all of a sudden has this epiphany that he wants to be with a woman who happens to be Mia. Driving around in the limo that belonged to her, spending the night with her, and then having the big cojones to roll up with his sorry ass apology to break it off with her. He needed a good ass beating with a baseball bat. What did she do to deserve that? She didn't mistreat him. She didn't have ill intentions. She just fell in love with an immature mama's boy. Brandy was a classic case of a scorned woman. She poured her heart into the hands of a man who rejected her love and sought out revenge and to take matters into her own hands. Now, do I think that her attempting to kill him was right? No. But I can see how someone whose feelings that you have played with can flip to the other side of their mind and cause them to do irrational things. I just feel like you shouldn't play with the emotions of people. You shouldn't play with people's feelings, because you never know what a person is capable of. And if this movie didn't teach people that, I don't know what will. It's happened time and time again. We've seen it happen when you play with the emotions of people. But some people just don't understand that, or don't believe ish stinks until they smell it. A Thin Line Between Love and Hate is a classic movie, and it doesn't matter how many times I watch it, I am always in tears because I can't take Martin serious. Even the facial expressions he makes when he realizes Brandy isn't wrapped too tight. He is one of my favorite comedians, along with Richard Pryor. Martin is one of the few comics who could do well in both stand-up and films, and he was also the co-writer and director for this film. Now, I don't know about anyone else, but I will always be Team Brandy, okay? I mean, Brandy was a little unhinged. However, I can see where she was coming from, and I just believe that you don't play with the feelings or emotions of people, point blank, period. If you know that you aren't ready for a committed relationship or whatever, please do not go around pretending as though you want something that you do not want and get other people's feelings involved or play with the emotions of others, and then when they react, you want to play victim. Absolutely not. I believe Brandy was the victim, and I believe she deserved way better than that lying, stinking, filthy scoundrel, Darnell. And with that being said, this video has come to an end. Don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Happy New Year!